I'm enjoying the game now. I want to play all the time, and you know, it's fun. I mean, golf now is fun for me. I look forward to playing. I look forward to practicing. I look forward to sending videos into the coaches, getting feedback, little tweaks, and just been a phenomenal experience. Love it. So my problem before I started the single plane swing was not one problem. It was many problems. I mean, it was just mainly inconsistency. You know, one day I would shoot, you know, a decent score. I may have broke 90 a couple of times, and that would have been a good day for me, but just super inconsistent. There would be days that I would hit some good shots, you know, maybe shoot a decent round, and then there'd be other days where I couldn't hit a ball. Like I would shank everything. The shanks were the big thing for me. Pushing the ball right, shanking the ball, you know, hitting the ball fat constantly. That was annoying, like to the point where my hand would hurt. So, you know, I just wasn't a really good golfer at all. And, you know, I put time into it. You know, I took lessons many a times, spent a lot of time at the range. You know, I would swing in my yard, you know, put two tees down in the yard and try to swing through them. Like I would work at it, and nothing was working. So what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, and, you know, expecting a change. So for me, I was like, hey, you know, I'm on the fence, but nothing else has been working, so I'm going to go on this side of the fence, Graves Golf Academy, and just make a decision. And when you make that decision, commit to it. You know, that's the biggest thing, is you have to commit to it. And if you commit to it, you're going to see results. I promise you. No doubt about it. If you follow what they teach you, you're going to see results. It's just a matter of time. So one thing I really love about the academies, it's not just about the swing, you know, the full swing. It's about the short game as well. There's a lot of information and content in there that's been really useful. You know, how to hit out of a bunker, how to chip, how to putt. All of these things are just super important for your game, and that's one of the main reasons why my handicap dropped so dramatically, is because I was able to go in there and learn how to, you know, learn how to chip and putt, learn how to read putts, you know, hazard or conditions where, you know, maybe you're in the rough, or again, bunker shots. Most people hate going in the bunkers. I enjoy it now because I know how to do it, and I get a good result when I'm in the bunker. Not that I try to go in the bunker, obviously, but when I'm in there, I'm not panicking. And so, again, information on the short game, just the, you know, everything's in there. But for me, the short game is something that there's just not a lot of information out there that is, you know, is very helpful. So I love it. I love going in there and working on my short game, being able to find whatever it is I need, and it's been super helpful. What surprised me the most inside of Graves Golf Academy is, you know, when I send a video into coaches, just the knowledge these guys have. I mean, they're able to see things that I'm like, oh man, I didn't even notice that. You know, in my swing mechanics or my grip. You know, early on there was a lot of things I was working on, but you know, now that I've got it down pretty good, still making little tweaks. You know, we're always working for perfection. And again, if pros are using coaches, you know, I'm going to use them. So the coaching is just second to none. I mean, it's so helpful, and they tell you, you know, make sure you send videos in. That was very surprising to me. Is like, you know, they're super adamant about making sure that you're getting helped. Like, they don't want you to be a part of it if you're not going to use it. And you know, that was kind of odd to me. You know, they're not just trying to take my money. They really, truly care and want me to get better. And they're, you know, sending your videos. They're not sending in enough videos, you know, are you practicing? And you know, just holding me accountable. And I just absolutely love that. It's awesome. So it's been about a year, I think maybe a little longer than a year since I've, you know, been working with the single plane swing. Prior to, I, you know, may have broke 90 a few times. My handicap, if I had to have a handicap, it'd probably be, you know, somewhere around 20 maybe. My handicap's lowered to 7.1 as we speak. And I live in Pittsburgh, so it's not like I get to golf all year round. But again, I mean, it's just being able to learn every aspect of the swing. They're able to qualify the golf swing. You know, Todd knows, like he proves it through biomechanics. There's just so much knowledge and information on why the traditional golf swing is super hard to learn and why it doesn't work for most people, and why the single plane golf swing is simplified and will work for you if you just put what you're learning to use. Tim, with his short game knowledge, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, it really is. Like, I've never seen so much information on the short game, and to be able to take that information, put it to work, and use it in my own game, and see that it actually does work. These guys are just geniuses. I mean, they really are. So, super blessed to be a part of this academy and have Tim and Todd Graves, at the forefront of it. They're just awesome people and super knowledgeable.
Good afternoon. My name is Ed Harper, and I went single plane approximately 22 years ago. That's when I started. I saw an article about Moe Norman in the Golf Digest, and it said nobody knows what Moe knows. So I read that, and I was quite interested. So I started playing around with it for a few years. So I went to the school with my oldest son, and we both kind of fell in love with the single plane. 3 months after I went to the school, I got my first hole-in-one. So that really enticed me to go completely with the single plane. Well, I've had some medical issues and bad back, so that put me out of commission for a while. So the only way I could swing was with the single plane. I could not do conventional golf anymore, so I was completely single plane. It's the only way I could swing the club. And I noticed as I got a little older, I was still maintaining the distance that I had when I was younger. So I really liked that. I was more consistent and enjoyed the game just tremendously. The schools are great. Boy, it's really evolved, but it's improved tremendously. And I really love the on-demand, and I'm a gold member and have been for quite a few years. And I really like the coaches, that I can send something in and they'll watch my video and get me back on track. And the coaches I've met, Trent and Clay, have done an excellent job with me. So I've talked 4 of my friends into coming to the Graves Golf Schools. One that lives in St. George, and she loved it, absolutely, and 2 that live in Idaho Falls, and they loved it. And then the greatest thing I did come back this year was to be with my son and his son. So we have 3 generations here learning the single plane. Well, the most noticeable improvement with the single plane for me was hitting a lot more fairways, more consistent in the takeaway and in the swing in general. It lowered my scores quite a bit. I got down to a 5 handicap for many years and played in a lot of tournaments, won quite a few, and got high rank in quite a few other ones, and it's just really enjoyed it. And a lot of my friends thought I was crazy switching because I was pretty good conventionally, but I wanted that consistency and the one setup, and I didn't have to listen to multiple pros telling me this and that and changing my mind. So I just stayed with it because I love the idea of one model to go with. That's what I did. And here I am. I love it. It works. It's simple. My friends all know how simple it is because they watch me as I take their quarters or whatever. We have some small little bets and we have a great time with it. I want to get up every day. I love to practice and I love the game, and I just really look forward to every day that I can go play.
What is happiness? Happiness is achievement. What's the father of achievement? Motivation. What's the mother? Encouragement. The fine golf swing is truly achievement. Man may lie, cheat, and steal for gain, but he'll never gain the golf swing. To gain the golf swing, man must work. It's work without toil. For those of us who know and love it, golf is truly happiness.
Hey, it's Todd Graves with Graves Golf, and welcome to tonight's program. My goal tonight is to teach you some of the lessons that Moe Norman taught me as the greatest ball striker that's ever played the game. But I want to give you a little bit of background as we get rolling tonight. So welcome to the program. I'm excited that you're here, and I'm excited that I have the opportunity to really explain to you some of the things that really help me simplify the ability for me to hit a golf ball and make the game more fun again. I'm here to share that with you tonight. Part of that story, as I get into my discussions about Moe, were the questions of how was he the greatest ball striker that's ever played the game? You know, why? What are the reasons behind that? We're going to talk about that tonight. But one of my promises I want to make to you about tonight's program, and I try to get somewhat of a level of commitment out of you when you watch these programs, especially when I start talking about what Moe taught me, because I honestly believe that if you will spend the time to hear what I have to say about it and commit to the process that I'm going to talk about tonight, and you look deeply at this process, the process that Moe taught me, I can transform the way that you play golf. It's not complicated. It's not hard, but you've got to look at how I'm doing this and look at the things that Moe taught me and how important those things were, because if he didn't teach me the things that I'm going to teach you tonight, I would not be standing here in front of you tonight teaching, number one, the things that he taught me, but number two, I would have quit this game a long time ago. Many of you may be in that boat. I mean, there's a lot of reasons you may be here. One reason, maybe you're just frustrated like I was, because years ago, before I met Moe, I was in that boat. I was so frustrated with my game. I was hitting the ball badly. I was taking lessons from some of the most well-known golf instructors around the world. I always tell people that no one had spent more money than me on golf instruction. And even to this day, very few people have spent more money than me on golf instruction, because I was on the search for a better way to play golf. And the more that I got on the search, the worse I got. The more instructors I worked with, the worse I got. And you may not have been like that, because I was traveling around the world working with all these instructors. You may not have done that, but I know that you've been watching YouTube channels, you've been watching information on the internet, you've been looking at instruction, you may have taken lessons before from other instructors. You're on a search like I was. And I became so frustrated that I was that close to quitting playing the game for the rest of my life. I was done with it. I was tired of it. I was confused. I didn't know what to do. And then I met Moe Norman, and it changed my world. And I'm gonna share that with you tonight. And I tell people that what Moe really helped me do was simplify the golf swing so much that I was able to just transform the way I play golf. And to this day, of course, I've been teaching now for over 30 years, Moe Norman's golf swing. And I'm gonna share that with you tonight. But the good news is I've been through the process for so long. I have this refined process down for you that if you'll look at the process and the way Moe displayed this to me, I can shortcut this for you. That's my goal. That's my mission for you, is to shortcut and speed up your learning process. So that's my commitment to you tonight, is to share with you the things that Moe taught me, how he simplified the game and how he did it and why he did it and the reasons behind it, show you the lessons that he taught me, and then speed up your learning process. So everybody, I know you're in the chat tonight, and if you're kind of following this, I may ask a few questions. There's a little bit of delay in the chat, but you're welcome to go ahead and respond in there, and I'll catch some of the responses. How many of you right now are just ready to transform your game? If it's a 10, put a 10. If you're like, I don't really care that much, put a 1. But I want to see some 10s out there, because it's exciting. Because maybe many of you right now are frustrated. Maybe you have back pain. Maybe you are just like, I'm at wit's end with this game, it's too difficult. All those things. Maybe you've taken tons of lessons like I did, and you're just like, I don't even know where to go. Maybe you're just super confused. I get it. I totally get where you're at. And tonight, I'm going to clear that up. I promise you, I will clear this up. If you will look at what I'm going to present to you tonight, you're going to say a couple things, and this is what I want you to kind of expect. You're going to say to me, that makes so much sense. You're going to say to me, wow, I can't believe everybody doesn't do this. You're going to say to me, man, why doesn't everybody teach this way? There's a lot of things you're going to look at tonight, because I don't want this to be complicated. It's not complicated. The stuff I'm going to teach you is common sense, and it's not that simple. But as we talk about a lot here at Graves Golf, and the team around me here at Graves Golf, is that this is not like my YouTube channel. Because I got to be honest with you, I don't like my YouTube channel when it comes to instruction. I love doing my videos. I love presenting the single plane swing. I love talking about this. I love teaching this. But I get afraid when people watch my YouTube channel, because I know they're watching information that may not be the right information for them. I may be talking about something what I call out of context. They're not ready for it, or it's not relevant to them, because that's what YouTube is. It's a creative channel. I get on there and I talk about stuff I love to talk about, but I promise you, when you watch tonight's program with you and I put this together for you, you're gonna understand why sometimes that stuff you see on my YouTube channel isn't really right for you at that time. So tonight, there's 2 things that Moe showed me and taught me, and I'm gonna go through this, that are gonna transform your game. Let me put this on the whiteboard here for you. The very first thing is, of course, the single plane swing. Those of you in the chat, you guys may be already working on this, so I'm gonna put that on the board here. How many of you out there right now have been working on the swing, maybe for the last few years, maybe you just learned about it, maybe you are brand new to this. If you know about the single plane swing and you're familiar with it, put a 10 on there. Say, I've been doing this for a while. If you're new to it, put a 1. I want to know how many 1s are out there. If you're just like, hey, I'm seeing you guys for the first time, what the heck is this? Put a 1 in there. I'm kind of interested to see how many newcomers we have to this. I know that we had, and by the way, just as a little side note here, we're giving away a driver at the end of this program, an AI smoke driver. Obviously a really good driver. So stick around till the end of the program. During the Q&A session, when I answer your questions, we'll be giving away a driver. So make sure you stick around for all that. So how many 1s do we have? We have any 1s on there?
That's several 1s. 1s, 2s, lots of people.
Oh, lots of 1s and 2s. Okay, so familiar but not there. Okay, great. I'm excited to have you here, because you'll never really look at the golf swing the same ever again after tonight. So just be warned, right? Be warned on that. So Moe taught me this single plane swing. I'm going to demonstrate that to you tonight, exactly what that is. I want to show you what the single plane swing is. And then he also taught me what I call a formula. And the formula is a process of learning the single plane swing. In other words, if I'm going to teach you a single plane swing, wouldn't it be helpful I showed you a formula where you could learn it, because I want to speed up your learning process. So those are the two things that two lessons tonight that I'm going to talk about, and I'm going to show you the lessons underneath these things. So let's talk about the single plane swing first. But as I talk about this, there's a very important concept you need to understand about the single plane swing. And again, I'm going to reiterate this one more time. Everything I talk to you tonight about, I want you to be able to say it makes sense, it's common sense, it's not complicated. The very first thing that I want you to understand about what I'm going to teach you in the single plane swing is that it's really all about the moment of contact with the ball, which we call impact. If the reason Moe Norman was what I and many of the players in the world that ever saw Moe hit a golf ball, and the tour players that still talk about him today, regard him as the greatest ball striker that's ever played the game. And the reason is this, it's a very simple reason, that he was able to achieve the moment of impact, this moment of strike, when this club comes into the ball and you hit the golf ball, this moment right here, he was able to achieve the moment of impact more consistently than any other player that ever played the game. I mean, even guys like Lee Trevino, Ben Hogan, and the greatest ball strikers, those guys were amazingly great ball strikers, talked about how great Moe Norman was, and it's all because of that moment right there. So I want to put another word on this board here that I want you to understand, is consistency. Now in the chat, give me a 10. Give me a 10 if you want consistency, because this is really, look, this is where it all starts, right? We want to get you to a consistent ability, so when you go play golf, you hit it well, you hit more good shots, and if you're more consistent, you're going to play better, right? My goal is to get you to consistency. So I'm going to teach you the single plane swing, I'm going to give you a formula for it, and the whole idea is to get you more consistent. Everybody good with all that? So yeah, tons of 10s. Yeah, every 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Of course it's 10. It's what we want, right? We want to get more consistent. Whole reason that I'm here tonight. Let's talk about the single plane swing. Everything I teach you inside the single plane swing is to get you to the moment of impact consistently. So whether I talk about the beginning of the swing, the back swing, the down swing, every part of the swing is to get you to the moment of impact. That's what the single plane swing does. That's why it's so great. Let me show you what the single plane swing is really quickly, then I'll go through the formula. Single plane swing is pretty simple. It's where I start, you look at my address position, do you see, look at the angle of this club. That's what we call shaft plane. So when I set up this ball here, I'm going to move my alignment trainer around here a little bit. And when I set up here at this address position, do you see the plane of that shaft? You see the angle and the line of that shaft. So now when I take the club back and I come down, I'm going to return that club to the exact same plane. It's not lower, it's not higher. It's starting and then planing and then impacting on the same plane. That's what the single plane swing is. Pretty simple, right? But I want to contrast that with what you've probably learned, the conventional golf swing. See, if you look at me in the single plane address position, do you notice how my arm is lined up with the club shaft? You see that? So you got this nice alignment. So you see how the arm is on the same plane as the club. And look at from the face-on view, the arm is in alignment with the club. So I'm creating a perfect setup address position so I can take the club back and bring it down to impact on the same exact plane. Give me a 10 if that just makes sense to you. Like if there's like, Todd, yeah, tell me something I don't know, right? Tell me something I don't know. In the conventional swing, when people learn the conventional swing, and I want to get some feedback on this, and I'm really bad at this, by the way. In the conventional swing, they teach you to hang the arms straight down below your shoulders, like this, right? So you'd have a golf club, let me grab a 9-iron here, and you'd be hanging your arms down below like this. You notice how the club shaft is not on the impact plane, because when I swing, the club will actually lift and go to a higher plane. So you start on this plane, you impact on this plane. So you're starting on two planes. Give me some 10s if you understand that. Now, the problem with the two-plane swing is what the body's doing. Because if I'm on two planes and I'm swinging this club quickly with speed and I have to lift it to another plane, if I start on this plane and impact on this plane, you see how much motion the body has to have. One of the lessons from Moe was simply this: I have less moving parts, I have less rotation, I move less to achieve more. That was Moe Norman talking to me about his swing. So how did he move less? Well, he started and impacted on the same plane, and even on the finish had the same plane. But because of that, because he has less to do to the club, he can move less. He's rotating less. He's more what we call efficient. He's taking the club back and down on the same plane. Makes sense, right? That's what my formula is going to teach you. It's going to teach you how to simplify the moment of impact, because if I can get this club to go from here, go back, and return to impact consistently and more efficiently, I can be better at hitting a golf ball. This is why Moe was so great. Now, that was a pretty simple explanation of the single plane swing, but now I want to explain the whys behind it, because this is where I can really help you. And this is why I like doing these shows, because I want to show you not only the elements of the single plane swing that are how I achieve a perfect single plane swing, but how I can actually have a formula that does it. And you're going to understand this formula. So let me start the formula right here. So these are very important right here. I'm going to put one more word here is impact, because everything's about getting to this moment of impact. Okay, so this is a very important concept I want you to understand, because, and I'll just put this out there for you that are watching this tonight. If you decide, the single plane swing's not for me, I want to try something else, very cool information, but I want to do something else, do me a favor for the rest of your life. Make sure that whoever you learn a golf swing from, if you go to another instructor, your local professional, whoever it is you teach from, make sure they have a formula, which is nothing more than a plan or a model to work from. Make sure they have a formula, and make sure they're helping you with your consistency and getting you to impact. If they're not doing those things, they're not going to be able to help you. I'm just giving you some advice. If you decided not to work with Graves Golf or have us help you, make sure, because I see so many issues with the golf world out there where they're just trying to quick fix you, right? Quick fix you. And you wouldn't be here if quick fixes worked. I'm telling you right now, that's why you're probably here, is you're like, I don't know what to do. Every golf magazine tries to fix this thing. They can't fix you because they don't know really your problem. I'm going to solve all that for you with my formula. Let's do the first part of it. The very first thing that you must learn is what we call address and grip. Address and grip. Okay, that's number one. Okay, address and grip. Now, important stuff here. I need to make sure I have an address and grip that help me get to where. You should know this. I want to see it in the chat. Where are we trying to go? Impact, right? So I'm going to give you an address and grip that helps us get to impact. But there's reasons behind everything Moe did. And one of the biggest lessons I learned from Moe was not to take anything he did for granted. Copy Moe. And when I learned to copy Moe correctly, that was my shortcut. Because here's the best ball striker in the world. He's teaching me his swing. He's showing it to me. He's demonstrating. I can ask him questions. I can hit balls with him. But if I copy him, I get it, right? I get it. Impact. There you go. Impact. Okay. All right, we're getting it. We're getting there. Now, look at my address position at address. I'm going to go into what we don't, by the way, this contrasts what you've probably learned in conventional golf. How many of y'all learned, if you put a 10 down, if you learned to grip first? If you took a lesson and they taught you grip first, put a 10 in there, right? Put a 10 down there. Or if they try to change your grip. It's very common that in conventional world, they like grip. You read any golf instruction material, you read the golf instruction manual, you read the PGA golf training instruction manual, they're going to teach you the grip first, right? It's what standard is. I don't believe you should learn the grip first. Here's why. Because if I'm trying to get to impact, grip is secondary to body position. Look at my impact position one more time. Let's analyze the impact position. You see me here at impact. Look at this position. Do you see how my body is tilted? Do you see how my arm is lined up with the club? Do you see how I have a tilt and look at my trail arm is slightly bent, right? Look at my trail arm, slightly bent. So I'll do it down the line. Again, my body has a tilt to it. My arm is lined up with the club. I have a little bit of rotation to the body. So look at my address position, look at my impact position. Doesn't it make sense that I should create a body position that somewhat matches my impact position? That's why I say it's address, then grip. Address, then grip. So watch, I'll do it real quickly for you. I'm gonna tilt my body, and here's what happens. When I tilt my body, do you see how my lead shoulder comes up? And when my lead shoulder comes up, my arm goes into what we call flexion. See how it goes in front of my body? If I didn't have the tilt, my shoulder won't get in front of my body. Watch when I tilt, the shoulder goes more in front of my body. See that? So when I tilt, my arm gets in front of my body. And then this arm, I can put my hand into a full extension. It's called ulnar deviation. And I can create an alignment of the club. So the tilt allows for an alignment to happen of the club. Do you see that? Now, there's more to it than that, but everybody kind of you're following me on this. It's mechanical stuff. It's not complicated, but I get a little mechanical here. All right, so I try to give you the reasons for stuff. All right, everybody's good. Okay, everybody's good with that. So now we have the tilt, which allows me to create an alignment, but it's doing something else. Very important here. We need a square club face, right? At impact. We need a square club face. Do you agree? So I've got to be able to put myself into a position that allows the club face to square every time. All right. This is where the magic happens, and this is so cool if you understand this stuff. Matter of fact, I was in California. I took a lesson in California from an instructor when I was there. Right. A guy had a TrackMan out there. He was one of the highest profile instructors, and I love talking golf swing to instructors. I booked a lesson with him. You think I'm crazy? No, I'm not crazy. I love talking golf. I love to hear what instructors talk about. I'm not there to be critical at all, by the way. I actually really enjoyed my time with his instructor. He was very smart. He was very educated. He was very knowledgeable at body movement. I learned from him, right? So I'm always in learning mode. You should be too. You never stop learning in this game. I really loved spending time with his instructor. But one of the things that was really interesting about what he was saying was he didn't quite understand what I call range of motion. And we had a long discussion about it. He taught me some things and I taught him some things. And when I talk about range of motions, I want to do something with you really quickly. This is kind of fun. If you're sitting out there and you're in your chair, you can do it while you're sitting down. I want you to take your lead arm, okay? And the reason I'm showing you this is I'm going to show you how I can square a club face every single time at impact. How when I get to impact, the club face will be perfectly square every time I hit a golf ball. And I'll show you how to do it with a simple range of motion test. So I want you to don't tilt, just sit straight up in your chair. I want you to put your lead arm right out in front of you. This is your lead arm. So if you're right-handed, it's your left arm. If you're left-handed, it's your right arm. So you're sitting in your chair, and I want you just to put your arm in flexion, which means you're going to put your arm in front of your body. And I want you to just turn your arm and just go to full turn one direction, my hands towards the ground, back of the hand towards the ground. And I want you to turn the other direction. And you'll have it, mine's toward that wall. So I'm getting like 270 degrees of rotation out of my arm and forearm. Give me a 10 if you're getting that, because I want you're gonna have some fun with this. Now, I'm gonna do a little tilt of my body. Okay, great. People are doing it, okay. So I'm gonna give a little tilt of my body, put my arm back into flexion, and right off the bat, I can't get my hand quite to the ground. It goes almost, not quite, but notice the tilt, and then I come out of tilt and I can't go to the ground. It's about halfway where it was before. So notice, just from that little thing I did, just that little tilt of my body, my arm loses its range a little bit relative to the ground. Okay, so you'll get more, it gets easier. Now, so what's happening now is, because of my tilt, the back of the hand, look when after I get my tilt and I grip the golf club, do you notice the back of the hand is lined up with the club face? Everybody see that? So I want you to understand that in the golf swing, if I have my hand on the club correctly, after my tilt, the back of my hand becomes the club face. So now I have a club face that won't go past this far. Right? So now, guess what? My tilt and my arm position, look at the club face. I can't get it to pass square. See that? I can't get it to go past. If I don't have tilt, look. If I have tilt, look. full range. It's called full range of motion. Okay. Give me a 10 if you're getting that, because this is how important tilt is to the golf swing. Yes, this is how important it is. I'm gonna finish off the single plane. So now, everybody agrees how important the tilt is and how important the lead arm position is, okay? Because that is my ability to create that alignment and the face square. Okay, now once I have the tilt and the alignment of the lead arm, watch the trail arm, it comes in. And by the way, it's in a non-rotational position. This arm, because of tilt, look at my hand, it's coming from underneath. It's not underneath like this, it comes from its particular angle, and now it's in a non-rotational position. It's non-rotational from back to impact because of tilt. What I mean by non-rotational is, have you ever skipped a rock before? There's a rock in my hand. Watch this hand. It goes back and comes down, and this is not rotating over. It's underhanded, non-rotational. Okay. How did I do all this, right? Everything again to get to impact. Watch my address. The tilt, the alignment, the range of motion to a max range where I can't do anything but square club face, and the trail hand's not rotating. Remember what Moe said. He said, Todd, I'm eliminating all these moving parts. I've eliminated the moving parts. He eliminated any rotation here, and he eliminated rotation here, right? Pretty cool. Here's my question for you. Scale to 1 to 10. 1 not important, 10 important. How important is tilt? Right? How important is tilt? Okay. So, address and grip. I must have an address position that tilts me. I must have an arm position that lines the club up and puts it in a range of motion. I must have my trail hand in the single plane, non-rotational position. And we can add a couple things to this. My foot position, my leg position, create my address position. Okay? Look at the alignment. Look at that line. And look at this line. Okay. Great stuff, right? Now that address position is helping me get to the moment of impact in the most efficient possible way with the least amount of movement to get there. All right, that's part of the first formula. Was that too much detail? I'm getting my team to answer here. Is that good? Okay. Second thing. From this address position, positions. I want you to understand the positions of motion. Now, what do I mean by positions? The positions of the swing, every single position I'm going to teach you. Some are checkpoints, some are things I want you to learn and train, but the positions are to do what? What are the positions designed to do during the motion? You better know this one. Get me to impact, right? It's all about this. Every position I teach you is going to help you get to impact. All right, let's go through the positions of the swing. I have a number of them. Let me go through them. From the address and grip position, it all starts there. If you don't have the address and grip, you can't do the positions. So from this address and grip, I'm going to go to position 1, and then position 2. Now look at position 2. You see an angle. That's where speed comes from. The club will then, in position 2, be on plane. See that club? Look at that club on plane. It's not steep. It's not flat. It's on plane. It's going to be really on the same plane as I get to impact. That's key. So I'm going to go to position 1, position 2, transition, we're going to talk about that. Position 3, impact, there's that magical position 4, extension 5, and then back to the plane on 6, and then I'll stand up and get the weight off my trail foot. Now here's the thing. Every one of those positions is simplified because of address and grip, and every one of those positions is relative to the ideal impact plane. I'll go through it down the line. There's address and grip. There's position 1. There's that plane, not steep, not flat. There's that nice, beautiful plane. There's transition. There's position 3. There's impact, where I back to the plane on 4. There's extension, position 5. And look at that. Look at that club plane, back to finish, position 6. Then I stand up. So that entire motion of positions is what's going to create my ability to get to impact. Okay? Now, here's what positions are. Positions are a certain amount of bend, side bend, and rotation of the body in each one of these spots, right? So my body is in a particular amount of each one of those elements. I'll show you a quick secret. The guys don't even know I'm showing you this tonight. This wasn't part of the program. So when I was watching Moe and I was learning from him, I was studying his swing. Now, here's what would happen. A lot of times I'd go practice with him. Things he would say were kind of cryptic, kind of weird. And then I would kind of watch what he's doing, and I'd go try to practice that. And one of the things that he would do, I noticed, was I saw when he set up, notice how when he got his tilt correct, how the club pointed to the lead side of my body, right? And then every single position would relate, even here, when that comes away, look, if I'm on plane and I unhinge my hands, it hits me right above my lead hip, right? Everything related to above the lead hip. So watch this, above the lead hip. On plane, still above the lead hip. Position 3, watch impact, right above the lead hip, right? So everything related to above the lead hip. You know why it relates to above the lead hip? That's where impact is. Impact is when I impact with this golf club, where is it pointing? Lead side of my body. Lead side of my body. See that? It's not in the middle of the body. It's on the lead side of the body. So follow me on this. Everything Moe did in the positions of a swing referenced impact. That's why it's called swing plane. Swing plane references impact. So positions. Now, that's why these positions are so critical, because they are enhancing your ability to get to impact. All right, let's go to the next step of this. Let's say now you've mastered the positions. Here's what you have to now get next. We have to apply what I call the brakes. The brakes, the braking system. I'm going to explain this. It's a very important concept. The braking system. When I apply the brakes, guess what? I can start putting you into a sequence. Matter of fact, the brakes need to be down here with sequence. But you can put it up here too, because the brakes are produced from the positions you're in. Let me explain what braking system is. One of the questions I often get asked by you, and not just you, but students are like, Todd, is the swing, is it right-sided or is it a left side pull, right? They ask this question, right side, left side. It would be really nice to say it's one or the other, but it's actually both. That question is actually a when question. In other words, one side of the body is doing a lot in the backswing, and then in the downswing, and the other side of the body is doing a lot of work. So because it's a rotational event. You're going this direction in one backswing, and you're going this direction in the downswing. So there's two sides of rotation to the movement. Now, here's where the braking system comes in. In order for me to move correctly, part of the body must be stopped so another part of the body can move. Give me a 10 if that makes sense. And you'll see this now when I demonstrate this. So one part of my body is staying still, braking, as another part moves around it. And then as I go in the downswing, it just the opposite occurs, right? See if that makes sense. What are we getting?
I have to give another second. Give another second.
Yeah, there we go.
There we are.
Okay, great. So we're kind of getting this. I just don't, I know it gets a little bit complicated sometimes. Great, lots of 10s, perfect. Okay, so watch this. I'll make a backswing in positions. All right, so I'm in my position, address and grip. Notice when I go into the backswing, I'll just go all the way to the backswing. You notice that I'm turning around my trail leg. It has the brakes on. It's not moving as I move around it. So I'm rotating around my trail leg. Matter of fact, because I'm rotating around that trail leg and I get to a certain point, there's a point where my upper body is also stopping, and guess what? My arms continue. So you'll see this braking system around my leg, arm and shoulder movement around my torso, and in both those occurrences, this is slowed down and stopped, and then this slows down and stops, and the arms slow down and continue, okay? So you're kind of seeing the concept here is one part stays still as another part keeps moving. Watch the downswing. I'm at the top of the backswing, okay? I change directions. Notice how I moved into this lead knee. Foot position matters here. I'm into this knee. It is stable. It's stopped. So the knee is stopped, but my body's not going to stop. So what happens is I continue to rotate around this knee. This has the brakes on. It's making this stop. It's stopping my hip so I can accelerate the rest of my body, right? So what happens is the brakes get put on here so I can accelerate. Without the brakes, I can't swing fast. So that's why when I get into positions, the positions create the brakes. I now can sequence my body around those brakes. Does that make sense, right? Give me a 10. It makes sense. Okay. Now the fun part, right? Now that that's in place, number 4, the formula part number 4. We all want this. Speed. Now I get to produce speed, right? So with these, with our address and grip, with the positions that build the brakes, with the sequence around those brakes, I get to accelerate, hit the ball far. Fun, right? It's cool. Now, question for you. It's a loaded question, right? It's a baited question. And that question is this: what's more important? The positions I put my body in, the sequence of my body, or the brakes? So in other words, the question is, what's important, movement or brakes, right? And the answer is, well, you can't move without the brakes, so it's got to be equally important. How you move is important, and how you stop is also important. Now, the reason I ask that question is this. Look at my 4-step formula here. Address and grip, learn the address and grip, learn the positions, learn how to sequence in the brakes, and learn the speed. And I want to ask you guys be honest with me on this question and give me a 10 if you started playing golf. When you started playing golf, I bet you started down here. I bet you started swinging away. Somebody gave you a golf club, you ran out, and you started swinging away. If you're a beginner or you're new to this process, I'm so glad you're here because I'm going to save you years and years of effort and energy in learning the golf swing. If you're like me and you'd played golf for years, you kind of already learned this. You've got to relearn how to learn this, right? But I bet you started right here, and look, you learned the golf swing backwards because you grabbed a club. Yeah, everybody ran out and started hitting golf balls. You're like me. You grabbed a club and you started, I'm going to learn this game, and you go, man, this thing's really hard. This game sucks. And you start taking lessons for the rest of your life trying to figure it out, right? That was me, right? And luckily I found Moe. But I want to save you all this effort, and I want to show you that this formula right here, if we stop doing it backwards, we stop trying to quick fix it, and we start with my formula. This formula you're seeing right here is I call it my secret. It's my secret sauce because every lesson I give goes through the formula. Every time I practice and want to improve my game, I use my formula. I check my address and grip. I check my positions. I check my braking system. I start adding sequence and I put in speed. I keep going back to the formula. I'm not guessing anymore. I no longer guess. If I'm matching the model address and grip, if I'm matching Moe Norman's positions, each position, I can then put on the brake, sequence, and speed. It's magic. If you figure this out, it's magic. You never have to work with this ever again. You just keep running your formula. Now, I want to show you one thing that's really important to this. I'm going to put a little arrow here. You follow this arrow. The goal here is really to reprogram your brain. My goal is to have you do something so consistently and so correctly that you reprogram your brain. That's the challenge we have here. That's my challenge with you. And we do that through repetitions, reps. You only can learn by doing. I can sit here all night long and I can talk how great Moe's swing is. I can show you the model. You can look at the swing and go, it's amazing, it's beautiful, it's on plane, love it. I love watching Moe swing. I can do it all night long. But you'll never learn it unless you do it. And so my mission for you tonight is to understand my formula and start doing this correctly. And here's how I want to help you do that. I have a program that does this exact thing for you. And here's the thing about my program, before we get it on the screen here. We're challenged with this thing called time. I want to help you learn the golf swing in as short a period of time as possible. I want to teach you this formula for the rest of your life in the shortest period of time for you, but it does take time. My team came to me and they said, hey, Todd, tell me, I've been doing this for 30 years. I said, Todd, take your greatest knowledge, which you're seeing right here, and say, how can you build a program? But we did this last year, a year ago, basically. How can you build a program that can teach the single plane swing in the shortest, most effective, efficient period of time? 7 days, I said, I can't do it. 14 days, not really. 21, getting close. I said, give me 30 days. I want 30 days with somebody to coach them through the program in the correct way, with the correct formula, doing reps. I need to be able to apply my formula in the right way for 30 days, and I can transform somebody if they'll follow the formula. I put together a program called Single Plane 30. Some of you may have heard this program before. This is the reason this program is so transformational is because of this. It reprograms your brain. It's designed to reprogram your brain. No program in the history of the golf world has ever done this. We're the first company to ever present to you a program that is designed to rewire your brain in 30 days. When you follow the program, we are getting amazing results. We've been doing this now for a year. Scott, how many people have gone through the program? Over 1,000?
About 1,300.
1,300 people have been through this program. We are transforming lives with this program. I will sit in front of you and I will stand in a stadium full of 80,000 people and say there's nothing like this in the world. If you'll dig into this program and do this for 30 days, I will change your life with golf. Because here's what it's a 30-day training program. Let's go through the program here. I want to explain it to you. Obviously, it's 30 days. Week 1, what do? Right here, address and grip. We build the foundation in week 1, all right? And we get into position 1 and some key positions in week 2. So we start progressing you. It's called progressive training. It's a progressive formula. Notice how it progresses you in the correct sequence. It's progressive training. In week 2, we start working on the braking system. And in week 3, we start sequencing. And then in week 4, we start adding speed. Now, the question is, how are we doing this, right? And this is the key to the program, by the way. It's not just information. I'm not just sending you videos and go, watch this video and good luck. I'm coaching you through the program. The coaches here are coaching you through the program. But here's what's so important, accountability. We have a daily accountability module. Let me ask you this question. How many of you, and put a 10 in the chat, would love if every morning you woke up and I told you exactly what to do in your training? How much would you love that? Give me a 10. I mean, guys, right now I have 2 coaches. I'm working on a 3rd. I've hired 2 coaches in my life. Now, one guy is an athletic development coach. I love people help me learn stuff I don't know and training my body. And one's just a personal coach. But guess what? I wake up every day and I got to-do lists, things that are going to help me improve myself. I love this, right? Number 1, I don't know what I'm doing, right? I don't know. That's why I hired a coach, because I don't know what I'm doing to do these things. Number 2, he's telling me what to do. I don't have to think it out. He's going, Todd, I need you to do these 2 things today for your own development. Yeah, 10. I want you to wake up and I'm going to tell you what to do every day. So daily accountability on exactly what to do. So that's what we do in this program. Every day you wake up in these 30 days, I tell you what to do. So accountability is so key. Here's how I do it. I give you a daily training module. You can kind of see example here on the screen. It's a module. It tells you, look at this. Use the Feeling of Greatness Training Club. We're going to go through that in a second. Do 5 sets of 20 reps. I tell you how many sets. That's basically 100 reps of that. And the goal, you need a goal. Without a goal, it's just another thing to do. Learn and feel the address and grip position 0. So can you imagine waking up every day and I'm telling you exactly what to do and you do it? Number 1, that sense of accomplishment. Number 2, you know you're practicing correctly. Number 3, you're making progress every day. There's no more powerful way to get better than this. Now, here's the beautiful thing about the program. We give you coaching support. I coach you through the program 4 times, and it's actually been 8 times. I don't want to give that away because I don't want to commit to that. But 4 times during the month, once a week, I coach you in the program. I've been doing it 8 times a month. So twice a week, I've been coaching the program with Scott Renfro, another coach here, and Matthew Vogel's involved. We're coaching you through the program. So I give you 1 month of coaching support. You're also inside our Single Plane University, which you can see here on the screen. And the Single Plane University has coaching support as well. You can post a picture of your swing in there. We give you advice. I post videos. I do exhibitions. I do all types of stuff to support you in the program. So it's 30 days of my coaching support. Let's talk about the price of the program, because you're probably wondering, oh, this must cost thousands of dollars. Well, check this out. I wanted this to be accessible to everybody and cheap. I didn't want it to be expensive, because you know what? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to learn the single plane swing, have such an amazing time with it, to tell everybody in the world about this, because you can help people. You can be, if you love this program and you get benefit out of it, why wouldn't you tell people about it? I wanted to make this cheap enough for you to tell everybody about it. So here's the value of it. It's a 30-day progressive training program. That's at least a $649 value. We've sold programs like this before for thousands of dollars. The daily accountability, us delivering that to you every day, it's a $349 value. The live coaching support, that's a $1,000 value. Me coaching you, guys, I charge $500 an hour for my time, right? So I'm giving this to you 8 times usually in a month, but guarantee you 4. The total value of that is almost $2,000. Your price for this program, $300, $297. But I got such a deal tonight for you. By the way, we only take 200 people every month in this program, and we max out. And look, guys, if you miss out, you got to wait an entire month. So 200 people are going to get involved in this program. If you're interested, we're going to put the links on the screen right now, but we're going to keep talking about this. gravesgolf.com/enroll. That gets you into the program November. Scott, what day does that start in November? 4th. So on the 4th of November, we start on the same day of the month, the first Monday of every month. Why do we do that? Because when you enter the program, I get to coach you and everybody else in the program at the same pace. We're doing the same things. We're in the same training modules. Guys, I could launch this and say, good luck guys, and just launch it, but I didn't do that. Part of my commitment with the team here was that if I put together a 30-day program, I want to coach it, because I don't want people out there being lost. I don't want people out there guessing. I get to direct coach. That was part of my program for 30 days. Guys, if I gave you this 30-day program and I said, good luck, it wouldn't be the program that it is. That's why I said I have to coach this program. So I'm going to give you a couple things when you do this class. You're going to go through the program, you're going to love it, you're going to take it to the course. I'm going to give you my $500 Take It to the Course Masterclass. This is my keys to consistency on the course. Guys, I put this together. I sold this for thousands of dollars before. This is where I teach you the 4 things you need to know about the course. It's the pre-shot routine, the pre-round routine, the pre-shot routine, the in-between shot routines, and I teach you the post. These are 4 routines I teach you to take your game to the course. Because how many of you might be hitting it good on the range and you can't quite take it to the course? This solves that problem. Now, here's the beautiful thing about tonight. I'm glad you joined me tonight, because you're going to get some deals on stuff for the first people that join this program. You see right here in front of me, I have training aids. I have an alignment ball position trainer. We sell this for about $100. I have a Feeling Greatness training club. This is about $130. And I have the single plane trainer, which is $100. So you got about $330 worth of training aids that I use. And I recommend these training aids. But here's what I'm going to do for you. If you'll join me in November and transform your game with me, I will give you half off these training aids. I'm going to give you these a 50% discount on these training aids. So I'm going to give you $171. Okay? Now, that just made that $297 program pretty inexpensive, right? So I'm going to give you these things. Not to get too crazy about explaining these, this teaches you the alignment ball position of where your feet. Because, folks, if I'm going to teach you correctly, I've got to position you and give you a perfect feedback on your practice. It's like I'm standing there with you. The training club has a grip on it that teaches you how to hold it. It also teaches you distance from the ball. This teaches you foot position, alignment, and ball position. So this is a way that I can be with you when you're training. The single plane trainer teaches you the positions of the swing, as you saw me do earlier. Now here's what else I'm going to do for you. I'm giving you $171 off the training aids. Guess what? I'm going to give you a $150 gift card. So now you can go buy the training aids. Guys, you're getting in for free. I found a way to give you these training aids for no charge when you pay the $297. That's kind of all I can do. But it's only for the first 50 people that join the program. So if you're looking at this tonight and you're thinking about the single plane, guys, if you join the program and you didn't show up one day for the training, you get the training aids, right? You can't lose. But I'll even sweeten the deal more. Check out this deal. You got the single plane class, all the things with the class, $2,000 value. You got the master class, $500 value. You got the discount on the training aids plus the gift certificate. That's almost a $3,000 value for $297. I don't know how I can make this any better. Well, I got one way to make it better. I'm going to give you all this, and I'm going to tell you this. If you don't love this program, if you don't love it, I will give you your money back, 100%. So that's how I'm going to make this deal great for you. So I am so confident that if you'll join me, grab these training aids, which are basically for free, and start getting in the program, let me coach you for 30 days, and you don't love it, I'll give you 100% of your money back. That's my deal. That's my commitment to you. It's gravesgolf.com/enroll, and you're gonna get me as a coach with all these great bonuses for basically $300. Let me take a few questions. Is that the first question, easier on the back?
It is.
All right, from Michael. Is the swing easier on the back to avoid back issues? Yes, and let me show you why the swing is easier on the back, because this is actually interesting, because this is the conversation I had with this instructor I worked with out in California. I took a lesson from him, with him, and I was capturing data on my swing and looking at all this stuff. And it's how the single point swing is doing it. The first thing you have to understand about saving your back is you're starting and impacting on the same plane. So when you start and impact on the same plane, one really important thing is happening. And let me get into, give me a 10 if you don't mind me getting into a little bit of physics here. A little bit of biophysics. Give me a 10. Give me a 1 if...
You're going to get a ton of 10s.
I just want to see him. I just like the emotional support. Okay. I just don't want people to go, man, he's just gone crazy on this stuff. So guys, look, here's what happens in your golf swing. If you're experiencing back pain, this is really important to you. No matter what you do, there's going to be rotation in your body. So when you go from backswing, as we showed earlier, and then downswing, obviously the body is rotating. Okay. So you have this rotational force happening in your body. Your pelvis is rotating and your torso is rotating. Now, if you've had back pain, most likely you're a conventional golfer. And what happens is conventional golf has a lifting of the body. Okay. We don't. In a single plane swing, watch me. We go from backswing to downswing. There's no lift. The lift is a pushing up, right? So in other words, if you start with your hands down, you've got to lift your body as a conventional golfer. The problem with lift is not the lift. The problem is the lift as you're rotating. Because when you get lift, push up, and you rotate, there's a thing called shear. So it's pressure and rotation create shear. And this is why people have back pain. Because when you're swinging the club and you're moving down and up and rotating, you put stress in the back. The single plane swing takes it completely off the back because it's not because I eliminate rotation. This is where people get confused. It's I eliminate the up. And when the up's not there, the shear is not there and the pain goes away. So that's a little bit explaining to do. And the reason we do that is because we start on the single plane and when we hit into this knee, it's slightly flexed. This makes our pelvis stay down. It doesn't lift up. And we take all the pressure off the back. That's the answer to that. Good question here. In case I can't make it to a live class due to work, the class is recorded. Guys, the way these classes are delivered, there are actually recorded segments delivered to you every day, right? You get a module delivered to you. Some of them are videos. And then the live segments that we do twice a week are recorded. So you'll never miss out. And by the way, if you miss one of the sessions, let's say you're traveling, I can't do the training, you can make it up. I wouldn't go a whole week though, right? If you miss a day, you can make it up. Miss 2 days, you can make it up. You start missing a week, you're gonna need to make up a week to stay up with the training because it goes progressively into the next section. Should I stop playing my weekly golf games going through the course? Larry, we've had this question asked to us a lot. And I wanna say yes, you should. A lot of people have a hard time with that because I really want you to really reprogram your brain, and the best way to do that is to not interrupt the progressive training. That's ideal. Okay, I'm just being honest that ideally I don't want you running out and playing golf. If you want to go play, here's what I ask of you. I ask 2 things. If the first 2 weeks, don't play for the first 2 weeks because you're not sequencing yet. That's what I would recommend is at least don't play for the first 2 weeks of the program. But if you're saying, man, Todd, I've got to play, then here's what I want you to do. If you're going to play golf and go through the program, which isn't ideal, but a lot of guys do that, here's what I recommend you do. You do the training sessions after you play, okay? So in other words, don't do the training session in the morning and then go play golf and then run the old program and go, okay, I'm not getting better. Go play golf and then do your training after you play. And then next day, go play golf, do the training after you play. There's science behind it. Again, I'm not going to get into all the details of that, but I'm trying to reprogram your brain. And the reason I don't want you running out there and playing right away is because here's what happens inside your brain. You already have a program. You wouldn't be here if you liked it. right? You're here because you want me to reprogram you. Well, what you're asking me to do is teach you the program, and then you're gonna go run the old program, and your brain's gonna go back to what it used to do. And then you're gonna come back and go, okay, I gotta reprogram. Then you're gonna confuse your brain and go reprogram it again. If I can keep you here in this little cycle here of programming, I can transform you. If you keep interrupting that process, it gets more difficult. It can be done, it's just a little longer process. Now, let me say something before we move on to the next question. You will have 90 days access to this program. In other words, you're buying it, you're training for a month, and you have 60 more days of access to the program. Here's the thing about that. My recommendation is you keep going through it over and over and over again for the time you're in the program. That way you reinforce it. So it's 30 days of training and then reinforcing it, okay? So if you're playing some golf, I'm gonna give you some time to reinforce that for the next 60 days. From YouTube, does tilt change with each club? Yes, it does, because of length. So, for example, this obviously is a 6-iron. My forward tilt is about 45 degrees. A driver is about 40, and a wedge is actually a driver is 50 and a wedge is 40. So there's about 10 degrees difference between driver and wedge forward bend. But look at this. I want you to look at something really quickly. Do you notice the plane of the club that goes right under my armpit through the middle of my back? Give me a 10 if you see the plane of that. See how it lines up with my arm, goes under my armpit, middle of my back. That is the plane of the club to my body. Give me a 10 if you see that. Okay? I'm gonna grab a driver. The driver plane under the armpit to the middle of my back, right? So even though I'm more upright or more bent over, my plane is still the same relative to my spine and my arms and the club. The plane is staying the same relationship. In other words, I don't have a different plane relationship of club to body. It's just getting tilted up or down. It's the same plane, right? It's just a flatter plane or a steeper plane, right? My spine tilt is matching the club position. So my swing is the same. The club just got long or short. It's cool, really, it's really cool. So you don't have to train every single club. You train the 6-iron and you basically just change the length, and it's all the plane changing because of the club length, that's it.
Do side bend too. Does side bend change?
Here?
That was his question. Does side bend change?
Oh, I thought you said this forward bend. Okay, sorry, my bad. So side bend.
Finish, but then do side bend.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't understand that question. But I answered the question that I had in my head. It's kind of cool. All right, so side bend, same side bend for every club. But here's the thing, here's interesting. That's why I give you the ABT. That's why I give you this, because I want you to see that my ball position, this is 6-iron by the way. My ball position is here for a 6-iron, and it's here for a wedge. Notice the only thing changing is my right foot position. But when my right foot position changed, it looks like I'm more narrow, but my side bend is still the exact same. Let me go to driver. Same side bend, just wider feet. Now I look more tilted because my legs are wider, but my upper body side bend is exactly the same, no matter what club I'm hitting. So the foot position is adjusting, and there's a reason for that. It's the science of how we strike a golf ball and why a wedge has more loft than a driver. Don't get into all that. We need to adjust our stance width, leave the ball position where it's at, but we don't change the upper body side bend. Same, okay? Oh, here we go.
Giveaway.
Cool, giveaway on the driver. Guys, if you stuck around this far, some of you are gonna win a driver. The Callaway AI Smoke driver winner is Danny Chacko, C-H-A-C-K-O, I guess that might be right, from Oneida, Tennessee. Congratulations, Danny, on winning an AI Smoke driver. By the way, I would not send you a driver if it wasn't single plane fit to you. So we will be reaching out to you and have you get single plane fit. Just to tell you what that means, when we help you, we don't have to build clubs for you. I want to make sure your equipment, we do a free club fitting for you to make sure that your clubs are matching your perfect single plane based on your size, height, arm length. And we do free fittings to get you single plane fit. So we will get you that club for you, single plane fit, make sure it's the right driver for you. All right, let's review here on the program. Guys, go to gravesgolf.com/enroll to join my single plane 30 program in the month of November. It starts the first Monday of November, November 4th, and you're gonna get the entire package, the single plane 30 package, the fast action bonuses, all the things that go with the package, me as your coach for the entire month, all the training aids, getting those basically for free, maybe the cost of shipping. I think we have to charge you shipping for that, but it's basically nothing. You're getting all that stuff for free for gravesgolf.com/enroll, all for $297. And if you don't love the program, you call me and I give you your money back. That's probably as good as we can do. By the way, we only take 200 in the month. We can't handle, the coaches, me, we can't handle more than 200 in the month because you're doing Zoom calls with us. We're coaching you and you guys will be hopping on. We're answering questions. The last Zoom we were on took 2 hours answering questions. People were asking about the program and we were going through detail. We did swing reviews in the program. We did model matching. In the Zoom calls, when I coach you, we're going through stuff and it's fantastic. People are loving the program. We're getting rave reviews and we're transforming lives with this program. I love it. All right. gravesgolf.com/enroll. Any other questions? Okay, got some more.
35, Tristan.
Okay, here's a question. What is the reason? Oh, sorry. Where is the lead knee pointing at impact? It almost looks like it is down the line, or is it where the lead foot is pointing? Dwayne. Hey, Dwayne, the lead knee is a stabilizing factor. So it's and you're right in the answer to that question. You're correct. The lead foot has a lot to do with the knee. And by the way, look at this question for a second. If you guys are still on with me tonight, the lead knee relative to the lead foot. See, this is exactly perfect in the way this question is asked. And the reason it's important is because it's defining that the position of your body matters. In other words, the position of that lead foot determines where the knee can go. Guys, look at this for a second. If I had my foot straight out like this, look at my knee. It can't go anywhere. It's stuck, right? It affects my hip. It affects my side bend. It jams me up. If I have a rotation in the foot, look at the knee. It goes to a different spot. It allows me to rotate. It allows my body, less stress on my leg, less stress on my hip. The foot position matters, and you're exactly right. Where the lead foot is pointing is where the knee goes, right? And it stops. It stops though. We have to stabilize it. So look, that question is really how important are the position of the feet? Very important, right? I saw, by the way, Tiger's lead leg injury. I saw that coming 10 years before it happened because I saw his lead foot position. I was like, that's just a matter of time before he puts so much stress on that and messes up his knee and his leg, and he did. That is easy to see because positions matter. Guys, I teach you that in single plane 30. Here's another one. What is the reason someone flips at impact? Is it a feel of the right elbow getting down in transition, or is it lack of body rotation, or both? Derek, great question. I'll tell you a quick story about that question. He's talking about releasing early. So in other words, this would be considered a flip, right? Where the club gets in front of the hands. That's quite exaggerated. Sorry about that. So that would be kind of a flip right there, where you kind of scoop it early. And I was at the PGA show at the Top 100 Teachers Conference, where they give awards to the best teachers in the United States. And I was there with a bunch of those guys, and I'd been there for 14 years. And we were all talking about this. And I sat down at a table with a bunch of the best instructors in the United States, and they were saying, they're all talking about trying to help people stop the release early or the flip. And I turned to everybody in the group, I'm like, how many years have you guys been coming to this? And they're like, oh, this is my 50th year. This is my, this guy was inducted 50 years ago. This guy's been there 10 years. I'm like, guys, how are we still talking about this 50 years later? Do we have not figured this out? And the answer to it is this. There's a number of things. Look at this for a second. By the way, if you're still around for this program, this will make so much sense to you, how I can get you to compress a golf ball and stop flipping it. This is our single plane trainer. And this is derived from me learning from Moe. This is a lesson from Moe. Notice how that the single plane trainer is actually creating a relationship of the golf club to the left side of my body. This is exactly where I'll be at impact. And notice if I get this club to go to the left side, that is the opposite of a flip. Matter of fact, I can't flip. I cannot flip because if this club is on the left side of my body, I cannot flip. So what this is saying to you, and see if you can follow this with me, the club has a relationship to my body. Would everybody agree with that? Give me a 10. Okay? And it's a left side relationship. Notice how the club's on the left side of my body. It's not on the right side of my body. That'd be a flip, right? That's a flip. The club's on the left side of my body. So if I have the club on the left side of my body, wouldn't it make sense, and this is thanks to Moe, Wouldn't it make sense to create a golf swing that goes like this? Takes the club back, brings it down, and goes back to the left side of my body. See that? Back to the left side. So I've got to develop the relationship of the club to my body. Agree? What does that mean? Learn to keep the club to the left side of the body. Position by position by position by position. That's how you do it. But here's the other answer that I didn't answer that question with. I'm not here to quick fix you. I'm not going to say it's rotation. I'm not going to say, yeah, it's probably rotation and impact. And the reason I didn't say that, because you may be out of position. Guys, if you're in a crap position at the top of your swing, you'll be in a crap position in your downswing. If you're in a crap position at address, you'll be in a crap position in your backswing. So let's answer your question with my formula. So great question. I'm not getting, what you just asked me, what you just told me is I'm not getting the impact correctly. It's what you just said, right? I'm flipping or whatever. Let's look at your address and grip. And I would say, oh, what was that? What was the name of that question? Was it Dwayne?
It was
Derek? Derek. Okay, Derek. Let's go through the formula. Derek, here's the first thing I would do. I'm going to look at your address and grip. Check, looks good, love it. Or I'm going to fix whatever needs to be fixed there. This is the formula. You guys can do this. If your address and grip is great, I'm going to do this. Look at the positions you're in. Position 1, position 2, position 3, impact 4. Can you get to 4, 5, 6? Okay, great. Okay, by the way, this is single plane 30 in a nutshell. I'm going to look, are you able to produce the breaks? Now, are you sequencing correctly? And this is where you're having problems. You're not in a very good position. You can't sequence the hands in front of the body. You're not able to get the hands in front of the body because you're out of position somewhere. Most likely, you're not getting enough into the stability of your lead leg. You're not sequencing. I'm going to find the problem somewhere in here, right? I'm going to find the problem. But I just want you to know that I'm not here to quick fix you. None of what I'm doing here is to find that one problem you're having. I'm here to build you a golf swing so you never have the problem again. I'm here to show you how you'll never have to worry about flipping it again because I'm going to build a golf swing that doesn't flip it, right? So again, I get lots of questions, and they're all very good questions about issues during people's swings, like why am I hitting it left? Why am I hitting it right? Why I hit it fat? Why do I top it? Why blah, blah, blah? Why? I don't answer those questions. I just go, well, let's look at this. Let's look at this. Let's follow the formula. I will find the answer like that, but I want to find the reason for it, the cause of it. I'm not here to give you a Band-Aid for it because that's just not going to work. Eventually that Band-Aid falls off and you bleed again. It's just not going to work. I've got to fix it with the correct way to fix it because everything I'm doing is to get you to impact. I'm not trying to fix it. I'm trying to build a swing to impact. Again, I'm not your quick fix teacher. And if you're looking for a quick fix, I'm not your guy. I just don't do that. I basically build correct golf swings for lifetimes. That's what I do. Next question. Next question. I go to work every morning. Is something that can be done during the day or the weekend? From B. Steptoe. Guys, when you wake up in the morning, you get the module. Now, you can do the module anytime during the day. It's going to be inside our Single Plane University, inside Single Plane Academy. So you go in there, you log in, and you do the training. You can do it anytime during the day. But we like to make sure when you wake up, it's ready for you, and you're ready to go. Because you can put it on your schedule, right? And guys, it's going to take probably 20, 30 minutes to do the training. But you can do it multiple times during the day. I recommend do it more than once, right? Repetition is the mother of skill. Repetition. So we're going to get you in the morning and do it throughout the day later on. I like doing stuff at night because you sleep on it. It's nice to go to bed after you've trained and sleep on it. Some good biofeedback there for your brain. Here's a YouTube question from Alan. In transition, do you push off? Yes. So transition is changing directions. But here's the way I want to answer that question. So the question is, when I'm in the backswing, am I pushing? And the answer is yes, only if I'm in the proper position of the backswing. Because you cannot push. I cannot go from a bad backswing to a push. I can't push correctly. If I'm in a correct position at 2, I can easily push. Most people that have trouble with transition have backswing problems, right? It's a backswing, it's a position problem. Again, I would follow my formula and I check that. But let me say one thing before we move on. I just posted a video on YouTube a couple days ago, and I called it swing tests. If anybody saw that video, put a 10 on the screen, swing tests. Now, I'll give you a quick test. I'll just do it for you right here. Here's a quick test for you. I'm gonna test my impact position. In other words, I'm not gonna swing. I'm just gonna go to impact. Watch this, impact, okay? How many of you think that looks pretty good? Give me a 10 if that looks good. Give me a 1 if you think it sucks. But give me a 10 if you think it's good, right? Give me a 10. Okay, so pretty good, right? Impact. Okay, I'm gonna test my position 1. There's my position 1, there's my test. I'm gonna test position 2. I'm gonna test position 3. I'm gonna test impact. I'm gonna test position 5. I'm gonna test 6, I'm gonna hold it. Okay, I'm gonna test impact. I'm gonna test back 2. I'm gonna test 3. I'm gonna test 5. I'm gonna test impact. Okay, you see how at any moment I can go to any position I want, okay? You know why? It's in my brain. I've programmed it. I've done enough reps. My body and brain know exactly what those positions are and feel like, and I can go to them in an instant. If you can't do what I just did there in slow motion, it's not in your brain. You don't have it. Let me ask you this, and see if this makes sense. If you can't do what I just did in slow motion there, do you actually think you're gonna do it in fast motion with speed? Seriously, there's just no way. Because it's not your fault, you have never put it in your brain to do it. I've done it so many times, I can't even walk past a mirror without doing it, right? I eat, breathe, and sleep this stuff because I've done this a zillion times. You wanna get better at something, repeat it. So I have done this, I have done that right there more times than you've drank a cup of coffee, right? Right there. I have done this so many times, my brain only knows how to go to that position. I can do reps, I can hold it, I can go to 3 and hold it, I can go to 4 and hold it, because reps, 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 reps. That's why when I go practice, I'm always pretty good. Because all I need to work on, the only thing that ever goes wrong in my swing is when I haven't hit balls and I don't feel very sequenced. In literally 10, 15 minutes, I'm back in sequence. I don't ever really work on my positions that much. I'm always working in the speed and sequence area because of my fitness level. So that's the formula. I follow the formula. And I test myself. When you're in single plane 30, we do this with you. We coach you, and in the last couple of weeks, we start running you through a few tests and making sure you're getting this stuff right. Guys, it's a great program. It's amazing. Gravesgolf.com/enroll. Any more questions?
There's one more. Let's do the offer again.
Okay, so here we go, guys. 200 people maximum in the program. Jump in for November. It's the class again, $2,000 value. All the bonuses, training aids, all the stuff we're giving away, the extra class that take you to the course master class. Me as your coach, all for $300 for next month. So we're kind of giving this away, but I love having everybody in there because I want to share this with the world, but I want, more importantly, you to transform your game and tell other people about it, because I want them coming to us too to help them transform as well, because I absolutely know 100% that you won't believe how much you'll improve in this program, that you'll want to tell everybody how great it is. Gravesgolf.com/enroll. Let's take one more question and we'll wrap.
Got one more.
Final question. He says, the course sounds good, the cost sounds good. Does it make sense to enroll in the course without the specialized clubs? Make sure, I think it'd be good if you just got the training club. It's all you need for the course is this training club. If you don't want to buy the training aids, I'm giving them to you, but if you don't want the training aids, use your 6-iron, you'll be fine. This is a motion training course. It's teaching you positions. Now, I will say this, eventually you're going to want properly fit clubs. You don't need them for the course. You will need them if you want to play your best golf after the course. We'll talk about that. But either get the training aids with the course or just use your 6-iron. It won't really affect you during the course, but it will affect your ball striking after you leave the course. I guess that's the answer. So, and by the way, if you have questions about stuff, let me just give you, guys, if you're still with us, let me give you a couple contact. ToddG@gravesgolf.com is my email. I'm giving it to you. If you have a question about this class, email me. ScottR@gravesgolf.com. Scott, you want to put that in the chat? If you want to contact Scott about the class or any questions like that you have, or if you thought of something tonight or tomorrow and you want to join, I will tell you this, the course will probably fill up in the next couple of days, so don't wait too long to get in the course. Remember, only 50 of you are gonna get the training aids, right? Only 50. We only give 50 away, so make sure you're in those top 50 to get those training aids. And did I miss anything, Scott?
Nope, I think you're good.
Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope that helped you. I hope I gave you some idea on how Moe really transformed me and how the stuff that I'm teaching you, if you're willing to take the chance with it and jump in the program, I can help you as well and transform your game. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you again in the future in a future video.
What is happiness? Happiness is achievement. What's the father of achievement? Motivation. What's the mother? Encouragement. The fine golf swing is truly achievement. Man may lie, cheat, and steal for gain. These will never gain the golf swing. To gain the golf swing, man must work. It's work without toil. For those of us who know and love it, golf is truly happiness.